Hello peeps and welcome to Sundays with Sparky. How is it going, my friends? How is it going? I have just realised that I'm wearing the same t-shirt that I wore last Sunday for Sundays with Sparky. Whoops. I have washed it since then, so don't worry, it doesn't smell too bad. So we'll go over some of the videos from this week and then we'll talk about stuff that's coming up and movies and the thing that I forgot to talk about last week that I remembered recently. So much. So we had the last of the Fallout New Vegas livestream highlights. That was kind of filler content, if I'm perfectly honest. I wasn't really sure what to put out or what to do, so I did that. I haven't done any live streams since because my shift pattern has been a bit kind of all over the place and I've got other things going on video wise. I've just really not had time or the inclination, I guess, to do it. Whatever. We had a GTA 3-star challenge with Rainer McGump, which was a lot of fun. I'm going to be editing all the bloopers and outtakes from the last three 3-star challenge videos very soon, so that might go up on Wednesday if I can get it done in time. And then on Friday we had another big deck player, which was a Mage Dragon deck, which was quite fun actually. It's probably not as good as some of the other Mage decks that I've shown on Big Deck Player, but it was a bit different and we don't see that many dragon decks being played, so it was nice to have a dragon deck, although to be honest there's not many dragons in it. So later on today I'm going to be filming the GTA event thing. I'm still not really sure what to call it. Hang on, what did I call this thing here? Oh, I've called it Sparky's Super Awesome GTA 5 Scavenger Hunt Extravaganza. So that's what I'm going to go with. It's a bit long. I'm thinking for a YouTube video title, it might be a bit long. But that's what I've called that, so that's what I'm going to stick with, I guess. So we're going to be filming that later, and that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited about doing it. I'm not really excited about editing it all together, but I am really excited about filming it, so that should be fun. So that's coming up later today. I don't know when those videos will go out. They'll go out when they're ready, basically. So I'm planning on editing all of them at the same time and rendering them all, and once they're all finished, that's when they'll start being uploaded. So it might take a while. So the other thing that I wanted to talk to you about last week that I completely forgot about was that not too long ago I was contacted, well, I contacted them first, a guy by the name of Keith Stewart who writes for The Guardian newspaper. Now I don't know if this was actually in the paper itself or if it's just on their online part. I don't know for definite because I've only got a link to the online part. But it was about Hearthstone, and he put a tweet out which I was made aware of by Joe Parlock, yeah, he wanted to kind of get somebody that was involved in the community, I guess, and their thoughts and ideas. So I contacted him and said, I've been making videos for over a year now to do with Hearthstone, and I really like playing the game. I've been playing it since the beta, so he sent me an email. We exchanged email addresses, and he sent me some emails, and I sent him some emails, and he used some of the stuff that I gave him in his article, which I thought was pretty cool. Sadly, he didn't link my YouTube channel, which was a bit of a disappointment, because he said he was going to. And he's used my real name, so even if you read the article and you didn't know who I was, searching for my full name, my full real name, on YouTube probably wouldn't find me. So that was a bit of a disappointment, but what are you going to do? Anyway, I will put a link to the article if you're interested in the description, so you can go and read it and check it out for yourself. Alright, movies. I went to see the Minions movie. It wasn't as good as the two Despicable Me movies, in my opinion. It was still very funny, and it had some very funny moments in it. But I think because Despicable Me had characters that actually spoke English to carry the story, they worked a lot better. Because the Minions movie, it doesn't really have that so much. So you're kind of going, I think that's what they're talking about, but I'm not 100% sure. It just felt a bit kind of like, I don't really know what's happening. Because they use a mixture of English and French, and I think there might even be some Italian, maybe, and maybe some Spanish, along with gibberish as well. It was really hard for my brain to go, oh, I know exactly what they're saying. Because they'd say something in English and you'd be like, right, okay. And then they might put out a word that was in Spanish or French, but it was be mixed in with gibberish, and it'd just be like, it had some very funny moments in it, and I did laugh quite a lot. But I just feel like it needed a bit more of a solid character to kind of pull the story together. I mean, there was a narrator, but you can't have a narrator go through all the film, because yeah, it just, I don't know. I think it was milking the cash cow, basically. I watched a film called The Counsellor. I bought that on DVD. It was like £3. I was like, I haven't seen this movie, and it's got a good cast and it's got a good director. It's got Michael Fassbender, Penelope Cruz, Cameron Diaz, Javier Bardem, Brad Pitt. So 5 pretty good people to have in your movie. And it was directed by Ridley Scott. Again, a good director to have for your movie. And yet, the film itself was pretty awful. The performances, fine. Absolutely brilliant. I mean, Michael Fassbender in some of the scenes was just amazing. Some of the emotion and stuff that he had to portray was truly remarkable. Can't fault him. Can't fault him for that. Cameron Diaz as like the bitchy kind of character, I guess, was brilliant and quite captivating, I guess, in her role. That was great stuff. But I mean, even some of the scenes had really good dialogue. The problem was that none of it really made any sense. You get introduced to Michael Fassbender's character as the Counsellor, right? But you don't find out exactly what he does. Everyone just refers to him as Counsellor. So you never know what his real name is, because it's never mentioned. You don't really know what he does for a living. You don't know how he's got to his position. You don't know, because the story is that he is getting involved in some kind of drug deal thing with a cartel, and it goes wrong, and so they come after him, even though he had nothing to do with it, but they think he did. I think that's the general gist of the film. As I say, a lot of it didn't really make much sense to me, and I'm not really sure if that is exactly right. And I was like, this can't. Maybe I just didn't like pay attention to something, or maybe I've missed something somewhere, or maybe I skipped a scene without realizing. I don't know. So I went on to Rotten Tomatoes to check it out and see if they had similar reviews of it to what I do, and I think the average score on there was like 33%. So I was reading some of the reviews. I was like, yeah, this is all what I was saying. It was all. Some of the scenes have really good dialogue, and it's really poetic, and you're like, wow, that was a really well written scene. Didn't make any sense though. That was the problem. None of it really made any sense. Or if it did, it was a really convoluted way of saying something, and it's just like it didn't need that. So I would avoid The Counselor unless you're a huge fan of one of the actors in the film, or even Ridley Scott as a director. But I mean a huge fan, like you have to see everything that they do. And then the following evening I watched a film called Cuban Fury with Nick Frost amongst others. It's got a whole bunch of British actors and actresses in it, and that was great. That was really good. It's not very often that you see Nick Frost in a film without Simon Pegg being there, but this one was actually very good. I was a bit sceptical because I thought, oh, I'm not sure. It's not like Simon Pegg in it, because I really like Simon Pegg. I was a bit unsure because I thought it could be good, it could be a load of rubbish. I don't really know, and I was a bit worried, but it was actually really, really good. And it's about salsa dancing, and I mean, Nick Frost is a big guy, and I think he did brilliantly to be able to do all of this salsa dancing and make it look effortless almost for a big guy. So that was fantastic, and it was very funny, and it was very heartwarming, and you could relate to it in some way. I think we've all been in a position where we've been really good at or really loved doing something, and then something happens to make us not want to do it anymore. And it's about the struggle that he has of finding the courage and the strength within himself to then continue doing it. It was really good. I really liked it. Even if you don't like salsa dancing, it's very funny, and I think you'll probably enjoy it if you haven't seen it already, because it's been out for a few years now, so I would highly recommend it. And then last but not least, because it was the 4th of July yesterday, I thought I'll do my American friends a favour. It's not really a favour. And I'll watch Independence Day again. Yeah, it's Independence Day. It's been around for ages. I think I got about halfway through and I was like, yeah, I'm bored of this now. I've seen it so many times. I think I probably watched it this time last year as well. So yeah, if you did celebrate Independence Day, then I hope you had a nice time. I guess I don't really understand it, but whatever. I hope you didn't set fire to anyone or scare too many animals with your fireworks. Your big illegal fireworks from Mexico. Maybe. I'm not saying everyone buys illegal fireworks from Mexico, but I'm sure someone did. Was it you? Was it? Come on now, you can tell me. Alright, I believe you. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna edit this because this has gone on for a lot longer than I was originally planning, but I had a lot more to talk about than normal. So I'm gonna take this, edit it, upload it. You can watch this, and then I've got to play some GTA 5 and get all that organised, ready for later on when we do the big extravaganza thing that I can't remember the name of that I said earlier. So yeah. As I mentioned earlier, I'll put the link to the Guardian article in the link below. In the description below even. And I will see you next week, and we'll talk about more movies. Terminator Genesis. I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to see that next week. I think that's it. Oh, and then the week after will be Ant-Man. Cool. Cool. Alright. Laters, potatoes. Adios, amigos. Ciao for now. Oh, I'm such an idiot. Bye. How do I turn this off?